Hello again and welcome to another video from the Marketing Study Guide. In this video I'm going to have a look at where to draw the line in the BCG matrix, and by that I'm looking at the relative market share, and where you put that line will change the outcomes of the BCG matrix, so it's actually quite important. My name is Jeff and I'm a long-term marketing lecturer and practitioner. Now, as you know, this is the standard BCG matrix. On one side we have the market growth rate, and the higher the better in terms of an attractive market. And then down here we have relative market share, and it runs from low to high. So this is the better side over here. So there are two metrics that we utilize to create this. So the question is, where do we put that line up and down in the middle? And to make sense of that, I've got some numbers here. Here's the formula. So we take our market share, and whoever we are, and we divide it by the largest competitor. So I've just put 6 companies all from the same industry, so their market share adds up to 100%. Often we would use portfolios or businesses that are from different industries, but just to make sense of this example and what we're trying to do. And then we use our largest competitor. So if we're the market leader, this company here at 40%, we go to what is that? The next largest. So we compare ourselves to the next largest competitor, which is 30%. Everybody else compares themselves to the largest competitor, which is the market leader. So this 40 is all the way down. The exception is there. That gives us a relative market share for each player, quite high, above 1, down to very, very small. And because these are all in the same market, a low growth market, this is the only cash cow, and these are all dogs. So however you construct this formula, you will always find there's only one player that has a positive or a relative market share greater than 1. Everybody else will be on the other side of the matrix. Okay, and this is because when these matrix was designed in the late 60s, there was only ever going to be one cash cow or one star. And it was done that way because it was built around the concept of cost leadership through market share advantage, which gives you economies of scale, experience benefits, etc. So underpinning was that if you had superiority in unit market share, you would gain through the experience curve, which would get you costs down because you had more knowledge. That gives you a clear cost advantage in terms of a lower cost structure. You can then price your products better, and you will keep building that market share. And it was seen as this superior strategy. And remember, this is the 1960s we're talking about. So if I map those, and they run across a straight line here because they're all from the same industry, and because of that, they all have the same growth rate. Normally, we see the dots around. There are no stars. Stars would be up here. Question marks are up here. So they're either a cash cow or a dog. On the traditional, the original configuration, this line hits at 1. So as I said before, the market leader is here. Everybody else sits over there. So let's see what happens if we move that line across. Okay, so here I've done it as a relative market share of 50. Now remember, firms A, B, and C are big players, and they're 30% market share, 20% market share. While they're not the market leader, they are still substantial players. So as I move that line across, B goes from being a dog to becoming a cash cow, and C is right on the border there, so it's half a cash cow, half a dog. The other 3 still say dogs. Okay, let's move this relative market share line now to a third. And as we can see, the percentage is still the same, but A, B, and C are all cash cows. Now, in the original construction, this is not possible. If we move this line relative to market share, then this makes a lot more sense. These are profitable businesses. I'm guessing their market shares are relatively stable. They are cash cows for the businesses that they operate in. To classify B and C as dogs, and this matrix would suggest we don't support them and potentially divest them, is misunderstanding. So in terms of what we're trying to do with strategy in the current world, we don't have the same degree of cost leadership advantage through the economies of scale. We've got service economies, we have differentiated products, we have different brand strengths, etc. So being the market share leader is not as important as it used to be in the 1960s. So this is more reflective. So what I would suggest, where to draw the line, you try to get the major brands or the major businesses in terms of market share and draw the line relative to that. I've done this at a third, okay? So a third or a half is probably perhaps down to 20 is about the right point. And then you have a whole bunch of firms which would be considered to be dogs. So really you need to build your matrix around the industry or the market that you're looking at. Okay, so let's just compare what we had before. So this is all our data. This is the original construction of the BCG matrix, whereas at 1, this is at 0.33. Here we've got one cash cow, the rest are dogs. Here is probably a better reflection of the marketplace. And that's by just thinking about where is the break between the dominant players, 40%, 30%, 20%, and then suddenly we're down to single digits. So that would be the most logical position to put it. Okay, so hopefully that is helpful. I've got other videos on the BCG matrix. Please check them out and please subscribe to my channel.